What's up guys, this is Coach Donny from Elevate Yourself, where we change lives through volleyball, training, and inspirational content. Welcome to my Volleyball Coach Reaction to HAIKYUU Season 4, Episode 5. If you're new to this channel, I'm a volleyball coach, volleyball player, and personal trainer who provides volleyball tutorials, jump training workouts, and other cool volleyball videos. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for more content. I appreciate this reminder of how Hinata was when he was first learning volleyball, especially when he got to Karasuno. He was obsessed with becoming the team's ace, not wanting to be a decoy. He's the one that wanted to be the flashy kill player, the go-to player, the alpha. Now, fast forward 2 seasons later, he's a ball boy, and he definitely needed to be humbled. Even though he already matured enough to understand his role as a middle, to be a good decoy, and to be a team player, this humbled him even further to broaden his perspective. And I can't wait to see him apply the knowledge that he's learned as a ball boy into his playing. This is an interesting comparison between Hoshiumi and Hinata, because if you guys remember my end of season 3 top 7 players, I put Hinata as the outside hitter because he is a shorter, faster player. Unfortunately, he doesn't pass very well, but he has incredible hitting potential. So could Hoshiumi be Hinata on the left side? You bring up a good point that Hinata, even though he might seem like a simpleton on the outside, is actually very emotionally intelligent. And I think that's why so many people of different personalities, ranging from Kenma to even Tsuki now, to Kageyama and even Ushijima, and then you look at the middle from Dateko, so many different types of players, they all end up having a conversation with Hinata. And it's not because they're forced into it. Sometimes Hinata does just go to them and start talking to them. But I think he has a very inviting and warm aspect to his personality. That's what makes him a lovable character. I hope that HAIKYUU continues to where Hinata ends up becoming a senior on the team, and we really get to see what Hinata as a leader looks like. If you've been enjoying my videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon, where you receive exclusive access to my monthly live Q&A sessions, monthly podcasts, my private blog, behind the scenes footage, and more. Now let's get this HAIKYUU party started. I always appreciate these recaps because I forget every week what happened in the previous episode. But we have Kageyama this time. Oh, flashback from Kageyama, the Great King days. We haven't seen K-pop in a while. There's that illustration face that we talked about. Great detail. This animation style looks different too. I wonder if they changed the animator for this episode as well. The proportions are different. It's actually even better this time. A promising genius setter. That's an interesting perspective, furthest away from perfect. Wonder what he means by that. I still don't understand what he means by goody two shoes. I just gotta listen to the first phrase of this song because it's just so inspiring. Get up, Hinata! He gets up every episode. Love it. Hunger. Probably referring to Hinata's hunger. Oh yeah, I can already tell. This is a different animator. This is much better than the last episode, in my opinion. I know some of you guys disagreed in the comments, which is fine. Let's go back to that one. So remember in the last episode, we talked about when Kageyama was facing with his back toward the set. That's actually a very bad setting technique, except for a few exceptions. And here, I don't remember the name of this setter. Is this Kunimi? Kuniumi, I forgot his name. See how he's squaring up. So he's able to be more deceptive because he's facing forward, and if he wants to send the ball over, he would do a side set. And look at the wrinkles on the shirt, on his shoulders and the neck. So I know some of you said that there was a stylistic difference, and a lot of people still consider it good quality animation, which I completely understand. Going back to Castlevania, one of my favorite illustrations and animators, where the proportions were super exaggerated and the limbs looked like they were ropes, and it looked amazing, but the proportions still felt real. The detail was still very high quality, and I felt like in the last episode, the exaggerated proportions didn't communicate that level of engagement or crispness. I don't know what other way to put it. It just felt off. Here we have the appropriate wrinkles. Remember that sixth thumb that I was talking about from the palm? And you look at the setting hands here, you have a nice curvature for the palm and then an actual wrinkle for the thumb, and the wrist is thinner than the upper arm. So you can have exaggerated proportions. If he wanted to make his arms super long and curved, that's fine. Then at least make the wrist still thinner than the upper arm, because then the proportions are still proportionally correct, if that makes sense. So I'm enjoying this animator's detail a lot better. Even those little scratch marks on Hinata's. Oh yeah. Yeah, these are really great drawings. Left off. Man, yelling at someone who doesn't even set. That is true. Someone else is getting on Tsuki now. This is the beauty of 2-on-2. You can't have anywhere to hide. So that's a key strategy to understand for those who don't play volleyball and you're playing 2-on-2, specifically for beach volleyball. You usually don't want to serve the stronger hitter, even if they are a weaker passer, because they will hit the third ball most of the time. So yes, you want to serve someone who's a weaker passer, but if they pass well enough to get set, then you're going to have to defend against a better hitter. That's why in a lot of beach volleyball, you see people serving the shorter partner. Yeah, tall defenders can be deceptively good because they just cover so much court with their body. All right, let's look at that last one. So here's a great example of a stylistic, exaggerated proportion, but still very well done. And I know they're trying to simulate like this close fisheye angle zoom to make it feel like you're actually there, but to mimic fluidity and speed and exaggerated emotion, right? His head is super small, his forearm is huge, and it's a little bit curved back. All right, and you see how his back is hyper arched. You actually are very rarely going to get into this position, but I think it's just trying to communicate just how awkward it is for Hyakusawa to do this. So I think this is actually a much better executed version of exaggerated styles. Ooh, and his shirt is waving as he's digging in slow motion. That's a cool detail. Mushroom head. That's going to be my nickname for him. Oh, Hyakusawa's just going to stand there and hit it? Oh, but he's running. And you got to block Hyakusawa. Oh, we got a soft block. Great job turning those hands back. This is great volleyball technique, again demonstrated by HAIKYUU. Now, even though Tsuki is pretty tall and has a decent jump, he's actually blocking against someone who's even taller and has a good jump, Hyakusawa. And this technique is usually done for shorter people when they're facing a bigger hitter. If you try to press over, you do lower the height of your block. So in general, when you're blocking, you want to press over and low to the net to force people to hit over you. It's much easier to dig a ball that's going flatter versus downward. Now, if you're facing a very big hitter that can actually hit over you and downward, then you have to actually reach up more and then break your wrist to create a backward angle so that it can deflect upward. All right, so this is a great technique used if you're facing a hitter who's just hitting right over you and hard and people can't dig it, then this is the one you do. And make sure you keep your hands and fingers very, very firm. Don't relax your hands, otherwise you're gonna jam something or it's gonna hurt. Yeah, good soft block technique from Suki. Come on, Suki. Oh, gave him a higher set this time. Always just set your hitters high if you're ever unsure. And there's a signature line spike. There's those shark teeth. Here's an interesting question. I see this type of teeth for lots of animes when people are having that aggressive emotion. And it's just funny to see it in a volleyball player because he kind of looks horrific when he has those shark teeth. But I guess that's just the anime emotion. Like when people have that embarrassed feel and then they have that invisible sweat drop, or not invisible because you can see it, but that large sweat drop as they're kind of like that. Nice kill! And it never gets old imitating HAIKYUU English. It's probably frustrated because Suki picked it up so quickly. And this animator is very good at illustrating facial expressions. These are some excellent drawings, and I'm just blown away at how everyone has a different shape of eye, different angle of nose. So let's zoom in here. I think the cheap thing to do to try to communicate different people is just to change the color of hair and change the height. But this animator did something way more advanced. Even look at Tendo's hair. You see all these hair strands here? The noses, for example, this is how you communicate different lighting, different depth perception, but also different types of noses. So Tendo's noses are, let's see how many people's noses are angled left. So left, straight, and you see how the line is kind of more vertical. Left, straight, right, left, no nose here, left and short, straight and long, left and short. Every nose is different, and you can extend that to the detail of the mouth here. We have straight and wide down right. We have upside down short, split smile, up and down short right. Here we have kind of upright, small left, and then very far down right. And you can go through that detail for every single player. And the shape of the head is not just different, the strands are different. You see how these are a little more curved, this is more fuzzy, this is more longer lines, this is more fluid lines. I hope this guy stays until episode 15, where I think some of you were saying the animation got really bad. Joint practice match. Who is Saito sensei? Oh, bad oysters. I've done that before. Bad diarrhea. Yes. What a privilege. So much fun to play against the best team, especially when they graduated. They should be even better. Yes, that's a sign of a true competitor when you get excited that you're going to play a good team that has a good chance of beating you. Or Hinata, he wants to jump in. $18-15, pretty close. Everyone notices number 10. Ushijima. Oh, he's gonna study Ushijima's hitting patterns. Oh, right over the top. Ushijima has a very specific sound in this anime when he spikes. It's got that jet engine sound at the tail end of his hit. Yeah, Hinata doesn't care. He's just gonna go up and talk to whoever he wants because it's all about getting better, which I love about him. He's not intimidated by Ushiwaka. Yes, that is true. He's already graduated, so you don't know how often you're gonna see him. Gotta probably pause it because they're gonna go through this scene. Rival, what are you talking about? You should probably get rid of that unnecessary pride. I think this must be specific to Japanese culture where you don't say things outright critically or negatively to somebody, but you indirectly and passively communicate it through these body and facial gestures. I was just gonna say this exact thing, that it doesn't matter if he's a rival. If he's nice enough to help you, why not use it to get better and take advantage of those opportunities? You need to get over yourself, mushroom head. There we go. He communicated all that message. This is why you're second best, you bowl cut brat. So Japanese. Actually, I would say very East Asian, because people do this in Chinese and Korean culture too. Just probably a little bit more intensely in Japanese culture. Did they talk already? I wanted to know what Ushijima told Hinata. Oh, okay, it just shows Hinata asking every player what are they thinking. Man, way to take advantage of that. And he's mimicking Ushijima's movement patterns. This is awesome. Nintendo's probably saying, what are you doing? This is his favorite view, the overhead view. This is some new HAIKYUU music. It's got this Spanish guitar going on. Feint off! Oh, let's see what Hinata does. Is he gonna spike it? Oh, Kageyama's hitting. Whoa! Way! Yeah, you want that utility player. Let's look at that diagram here. This position shuffle game is great. Okay, so I know Hoshiumi is usually an outside hitter. I don't really know anybody else, but I'm assuming everybody else is playing a different position, and that's part of the drill, is to expand your volleyball skill by playing a different position. That's a good drill. Yeah, that's great. Let's look at Kageyama's digging technique here. So you look at his right knee, you notice that it's kind of angled downward. This is why hip mobility and flexibility is very important for passing, but just in general, it's actually really good for overall health too. But what that does is it helps open up his left hip even more. So you see how his left knee is facing the audience? If his right knee was facing the other way, it would force his left knee to go back to the center. But in order to open up his whole body so he can get a good angle and pass on the side of himself, we'll call internal rotation of the knee. I don't recommend doing this excessively, but this is one position that is good to practice in volleyball for some of the more extreme positions you have to get to just get the ball up. But this helps open up your hip, which helps open up your shoulders, which helps you get a better angle on the ball here. Yeah, the fluidity of the hair is even better this episode. Oh, we got the germaphobe. He's not playing with the mask? Yeah. He's got similar personality to Hinata, just meaner. Just kind of in your face and yelling.
何より発掘の時期。どこからどういう素質が見えるかわからないし、選手自身がどこで何に気づくかもわからない。遅かれ早かれ優秀な彼らには結果を出さなければいけない日がやってくる。
And notice that guy with the funny eyebrows has cat eyes. The main people that I saw had cat eyes is Lev and people from Kenma school, because I think their mascot was cat. So I wonder if there's a correlation with his eyes. He got some crazy eyebrows too. They look like two piles of poop. Maybe the coach is just allowing them to enjoy volleyball and explore the game by playing different positions. Mia! Is he gonna set Kageyama? Is Kageyama hitting the middle? Man, Kageyama is just on a roll here. That was a fast set too. Oh, that's the other setter who's setting him. I remember back in, I don't know if it was season 1, I talked about my top 7. I wanted to run a 6-2 where Kageyama was setting in the back row and hitting in the front row. I wonder if we'll get a chance to see Kageyama hit later in season 4 or 5. Good encouragement from the libero. Ooh, Yamaguchi's got some. I love it. He doesn't want to lose to his teammate. He's like, I'm gonna give you a better jump float. Yeah, even more encouragement from Nishinoya here. Let's talk about the stylistic differences between previous episodes and the current animator for Coach Ukai. Coach Ukai never really had prominent shoulders, and he's actually illustrated more lean and actually more handsome too. He's got some really nice facial proportions. See how his chin is a little bit wider at the bottom? And these are what I'm talking about here with the shoulders. And his neck is a little bit longer. So he looks a little different. I gotta go back to previous episodes and see what the difference is. I think his chin was pointier, I think a little bit thicker. Interesting take on Coach Ukai. Ooh, what idea? Maybe another scrimmage setup? Okay, so he is setting up some matches so that they can practice when Hinata and Kageyama and Suki come back. I feel happy for Kageyama that he gets to play with people on his level. Oh, this guy is being fake nice. I don't know if he's playing mind games or just really being overly honest about what he thinks. But based on the music, sounds like he's just being an insecure person who would rather earn a position by putting other people down than making himself better. Yeah, that's a good thing. You're making it sound like it's a bad thing, douchebag. I'm defending my buddy Kageyama. I wonder how many days the training camp was. Even though it's a short camp, like you said, it's just an opportunity for them to become familiar with each other at an early age. That's important. Plant the seed. Oh, I didn't get a chance to see the germaphobe hit too much. Will we see? I think we will see all these teams at the spring tournament. Can't wait for that.
Kageyama,
I think this was the guy that ate with him very often and tried to get to know Kageyama. All the excitement built up. That's really hard to do animation-wise. Do this mental experiment for a second. So here we have two moving limbs, a whole body, and then a moving mouth. Try to animate that, all those things while moving in an unpredictable and bobbing manner. So not only are you trying to communicate the body language of Hinata's speaking emotion, you have to animate the eyebrows and the mouth, but also the rhythm of walking backwards. Sorry, hit the mic there. Man, that's amazing. That's a lot of skill. Oh, people get to... this guy just wants to connect. Mushroom Head's too cool. Wonder what he was gonna say. Maybe he's afraid to get to know Hinata because it might seem weak to want to get to know the ball boy. Oh, that's Kageyama's former teammate. I remember him. The carrot top head, whatever vegetable he was referred to. Maybe he still feels odd about their last exchange with Kageyama where they fought. And of course, Hinata is the one smoothing things over with his high emotional intelligence. Man, look at all that emotion around the eyes. Great wrinkle lines, vibrating eyes. Just when Hinata was trying to do the right thing, he gets put down. I know I keep stopping it, probably 90% for the animation detail, but it's really good this episode. So we have a still image of Hinata with a really nice, like, gentle smile, not overly smilish, but also not too straight, just to show like a calm excitement. And the deeper level of emotion is communicated by the glare. And it's really hard to make glare on the eyes not look like someone's crying if the glare is moving, right? Usually when you're gonna animate large moving pieces of glare is to show that water is moving along the eye, but here it's just kind of glistening. It's like vibrating slightly to show that the eyes are glistening with anticipation. Just watch the glare shape just outside of the iris. Just glistening with excitement. I noticed in HAIKYUU they do, for like hopeful moments, they pan the camera up to the sky a lot. Let me see some pictures of food. That speaks a lot about Hinata's character. If you can feel his intensity as a ball boy, that's great. I can't resist this animation. Sorry guys. So watch Shijo Sensei, he's drinking his water, or sake, I don't know what he's drinking there, some clear liquid. There's a 1 second animation of the liquid bowing back and forth as he kind of slams the cup on the table. That's a 1 second scene. I don't think anyone would have consciously noticed if he just put the cup down and the liquid stayed still. I mean, it would feel fake, but people would just brush it off. But this is a sign of an excellent animator, that there is no such detail as too small of a detail. And even the way the water slows down and settles, it wobbles, it accelerates in the beginning, and then it kind of slows down. And that's just a 1 second animation. That's what, up to 24 images, depending on how many they draw. Yeah, it moves and then settles. We gotta watch that again. The settling of the water. Impressive. Why spend that much effort for a 1 second scene? Because you can. So maybe watch Shijo Sensei is finally identifying with Hinata's hunger and drive. Oysters. I love raw oysters. I forgot which coach got sick from the raw oysters. Back to Karasuno. Do we get to see Hinata finally touch a ball again? Although technically he did at the training camp because he spiked against Suki to help him work on his blocking. Alright, this is one area where I'm surprised the animator didn't animate the shoes a little bit better. If they're going to put that much effort into the water, well, maybe, like some of you said, they have to pick and choose when they, or where they spend majority of their money because they're paying per drawing, like you said. So what I mean by that is if you're going to show someone walking, the stride is good, but the wrinkles, the pants should move just a little bit. But more importantly, right in front of the tip of the shoe, it should bend. What do you know? I got a shoe right here. So when you're walking, right, this part, you should see some wrinkles like that. But because there are no wrinkles forming in the shoe as they're walking, kind of looks like he's wearing concrete shoes or those clogs. It just kind of looks awkward. So let's watch the shoe animation again. Just looks a little stiff, right? It's like you're not really moving your ankle or your toes, which is not how we walk. But the face, I mean, everything else is great. Oh, they meet again. The stare down. Are they gonna say hi? I did not expect that. Competing right away. I love these two. This is such a good rivalry. It never gets old. Hinata has to win at something, especially since Kageyama got a higher reach than he did. You would think, I thought they were gonna say hi, good to see you again, but nope. Now they get a chance to have a sentimental conversation and catch up. Oh, Hinata was honest. Actually, I don't think Hinata knows how to lie. Oh, Kageyama's smiling because he feel like he has an advantage since he was training and Hinata technically wasn't training, but Hinata was training his mind. Oh, you don't need a gym. This is so cute. They get to talk about all the players they saw and how good they were. It's very high school. Oh, Hoshiumi, uh-oh. Hinata's gonna feel threatened. Oh, for Kageyama to admit that, that's must have saw something special in Hoshiumi. Ooh, with a beanie, that's cool. Okay, that's a complex scene right there. You have to balance at the walking rhythm, which is actually a very difficult cadence to animate. Then you got the twirling key, and the key is not just some simple two-line drawing. Look at the glare and the dual aspect of the ring. So if you look at most key rings, they actually have two loops, the high quality ones. And then you got this skinny ring that's a square. So you got the rectangular ring attaching the main key, and you got the circular one, and then the whole thing is spinning as the hand is moving, as he's bobbing, as he's talking. They definitely spent top dollar for these animation scenes for this episode. Yeah, twirling and talking, and the head's moving left and right. Oh, the first words of encouragement from Kageyama. I wonder, well, yeah, he must have been honest because Kageyama doesn't know how to lie either. Oh, we get to see them play against Dateko, but of course they're going to end the episode right before the match starts. Here's my immediate reaction to episode 5. I definitely went into way more animation detail than I was anticipating. And I think this might have been the most I've analyzed an episode's animation. There was only one funny thing that I pointed out with the shoe, but everything else was still on another level. And it's just so interesting how the animation style can change drastically from last episode to this episode. But it makes sense because there's just so much pressure for these companies to release a new episode every week, and there's so much that goes into the script, the directing, the illustration, the animators, the voice acting, the music, the marketing, the promotion, rendering the video, getting it out for publishing. So I can see how they're just probably just hiring a studio to do, a few episodes and just get it done. So seeing these episodes where those elements are elevated and really nice is a treat. I don't view those necessarily as a lack of direction, just the reality of trying to release one episode every week. I mean, it's hard enough for me to release a new reaction video every week, so I can't imagine doing a full-fledged original animation. I'm really excited to see how Kageyama is going to apply his knowledge. Even though most of the scenes were of him hitting, he did set a little bit, and more importantly, he got a chance to see other good setters and other good hitters. And Hinata, I am extra excited to see how he's going to apply his visual knowledge. And maybe this might be his chance to play middle all the way around or possibly change positions. But I can't imagine Tanaka losing his outside hitter spot. I think Asahi's definitely going to stay as an outside hitter. Daichi's definitely locked in. Although, I think Daichi graduated because, I don't know, I think they're finished after the spring tournament. I think that's the last one. There just seems to be endless tournaments year-round, so it's hard to keep track. But it'll be hard to squeeze in Hinata in any other positions, and the only one that can foresee possibly not playing another position that Hinata could is Tanaka. I was happy to see even Washijo Sensei's evolution of how he perceives Hinata. And I think deep down inside, his envy was really just a reflection of his acknowledgement of the great potential and skill that Hinata actually has. That someone like him could be on a team and put away game point against the best team in the district. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys in the next one.